Hey folks, let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever dropped a penny, looked down, and thought, it's just a penny, and kept walking? Well, imagine that same penny being worth not 10, not 100, not even $1,000, but 1.8 million bucks. Yep. That's right. $1.8 million for one single 1968 D Lincoln cent. No, this ain't Monopoly money or some Hollywood movie twist. This is real life, and today, I'm gonna tell you the wild story of the 1968 D penny, the small coin that's creating big headlines. We're talking rarity, errors, minting quirks, collectors losing their minds over it, and what to look for in your own change jar that could literally change your life. So if you're someone who tosses pennies in a jar or uses them to keep the kitchen table from wobbling, stop what you're doing. Because that dusty old penny from your drawer might just have a date with destiny and a high-end auction house. Now before we dive into the deep end of the coin pool, quick story time. A couple of years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know, cobwebs, broken tools, 3 lawnmowers and not a single one that worked. Classic Uncle Bob. Anyway, I found this old coffee can full of coins. I started picking through them while Bob was arguing with a squirrel about property boundaries. Long story. Lo and behold, I spotted a shiny copper penny with a D mint mark in the year 1968. I thought nothing of it at the time. Just tossed it in my pocket and moved on. Later that night, I googled it, cue the dramatic music, DA. This penny was struck at the Denver Mint in 1968, hence the D right below the date on Lincoln's chest. Back then, we were transitioning from the steel pennies of World War II, through some composition changes in the 50s and 60s, and by 68, we had a solid copper coin, specifically, 95% copper and 5% zinc. Most 1968 D pennies are worth a cent. Maybe a few bucks in perfect condition, but there are a few select ones, less than a handful, that were struck with outrageous mint errors. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, missing letters in Liberty, or even coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. One coin in particular, a 1968 D penny with an extremely rare double die obverse, meaning the front of the coin, with Lincoln's bust, has doubling on the date and lettering, sold at auction for over $1.80 million. That's not a typo. That's 1 cent turning into retirement money. Because error coins are like typos from the mint. They're freak accidents. And collectors eat that stuff up. Imagine finding a Picasso where he accidentally painted a third eye. Same vibe, and it's not just double dies. Some of these coins were mistruck on dime planchets. Meaning, a penny-sized coin but on the thinner, silvery metal of a dime, super rare. Super valuable. If you find a 1968 D penny that's in great shape, no scratches, full luster, no signs of circulation, it could be graded MS65 or even higher by the pros, and once you're into that mint state territory, collectors start throwing big numbers your way. A high-grade 1968 D without any major errors can still go for hundreds, even thousands, depending on demand. But one with both mint condition and a known error? Jackpot. Look closely at the date and the word Liberty. If there's noticeable doubling, that's a double die. Check if the coin is off-center or if parts of the design look smeared. That's another big indicator. Weigh the coin. A regular 1968 D penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's significantly different, you may have a coin struck on the wrong planchet. Get a magnifying glass. Your eyes can't catch everything. And those little details? They're worth the big bucks. There's a whole world out there of collectors, dealers, investors, and even museums that'll pay a fortune for rare coins. Online auctions like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, and Stack's Bowers have listed pennies for hundreds of thousands, even millions. You think baseball cards are hot? Coin collectors have been around since Julius Caesar was trading denarii at poker night, and don't ignore old coin rolls. Go to the bank, grab some penny rolls, and hunt. People are doing this all the time and finding treasure. It's like panning for gold. But you can do it in your pajamas. There's this woman in Arizona, found a 1968 D penny with weird doubling, thought it was nothing. She took it to a coin shop. They told her it could fetch over $1 million. She almost fainted last I heard. She's living in a lake house and sipping margaritas with a big OL smile. Turns out, it wasn't the $1.8 million one, but it did go for a cool $320 because of its above-average condition. Paid for my brakes that month, thanks, Uncle Bob. And thank you, squirrel neighbor. Never underestimate a penny. Especially not a 1968 D Lincoln Memorial penny. It might be dirty. It might be old, but it could also be your ticket to financial freedom. Look through your spare change. Check your couch cushions. Dig in the glove compartment. You just might be sitting on a small fortune, and hey, if this video helped you, or at least made you laugh, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, smash the like ring, that bell, and drop a comment if you've got any old coins lying around. Who knows? Maybe I'll feature your story in the next video. We've got more coin secrets, value tips, and millionaire coin hunts coming your way. This is more than a hobby, it's a money-making mission. Hey coin family, welcome back to the channel where pocket change could turn you into a millionaire overnight. I'm not kidding. Today we're diving deep into one of the sneakiest little pennies ever minted, the 1969 D Lincoln 1-cent penny. This bad boy might just be chilling in your old coin jar collecting dust, and guess what, it could be worth up to $1.9 million. Yeah, I said it, 1.9 million. Now if you're new here, don't go flipping couch cushions just yet, stick around, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for on this humble looking penny to see if you're sitting on a gold mine instead of a copper coin. And for my returning viewers, y'all already know this is where history meets money, and we keep things casual, fun, and just a little ridiculous, because hey, coins don't have to be boring, right? So grab your magnifying glass, grab your lucky coffee mug, and let's roll. Alright, let's set the stage. The year is 1969, the Beatles are breaking up, gas is 35 cents a gallon, and the US Mint in Denver is churning out Lincoln Memorial pennies like nobody's business. Now you might be thinking, what's so special about a 1969 penny with a D on it? I mean, billions were made, right? You're absolutely right, over 4.1 billion of these little suckers were minted, but here's where it gets spicy. Most 1969 D pennies are worth just 1 cent, maybe a few bucks in mint condition if you're lucky, but there are a few extremely rare ones that collectors will sell a kidney for. Okay, maybe not a kidney, but definitely a car or two. We're talking about error coins, folks, errors that make a penny scream. Cha-ching. Let's break it down. What separates the $1.9 million penny from the rest of the copper crowd? The key is in the details. There are a few things to watch for, but the superstar trait is the double die burst. Now here's where the fun starts. You're looking for doubling in the lettering on the front of the coin, especially on the words Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 1969. Not just a little shadow or blur, I'm talking strong doubling where it looks like someone stamped the coin twice without realigning it properly. But here's the kicker, the ultra valuable double die variety was mostly found on 1969 coins with no mint mark. Those were minted in Philadelphia. The 1969 D penny, minted in Denver, has some dramatic errors too, but they're even more scarce, and when found in pristine condition they're fetching absolutely insane prices. Strong doubling on the obverse, sharp clean edges, red or red-brown luster, no signs of damage or wear, and if you get all those together, buckle up, you're in millionaire territory. Some have fetched close to $1.9 million at high-end auctions, mainly because of condition, rarity, and collector demand. Now let me tell you a little story about how I almost threw away a penny worth thousands of dollars. True story. I was going through a jar of coins on my kitchen table, just doing my usual hunt, look for Wheaties errors, maybe spot a steel penny or two. I pick up this old grimy 1969 D penny, and I swear to you it looked like a throwaway, something you'd find stuck to the bottom of a flip-flop, but something told me to take a closer look. I pulled out my magnifier and boom, I noticed a slight doubling on Liberty. Now it wasn't the jackpot $1.9 million version, but it was a variety error, and guess what, a collector offered me $725 for it the same week. That's a whole week of groceries, maybe a weekend trip to Vegas if you're lucky, or at least enough to buy a really nice steak dinner for two. The point is, always check your coins and never judge a penny by its grime. Start with your own stash, that old coffee tin in the garage. Start there. Go to local banks, trade bills for rolls of pennies, and dig through them. Hit up estate sales and garage sales. You'd be amazed what people let go for next to nothing. Invest in a coin loop or microscope. Your eyes can only see so much. Get familiar with coin grading. Condition matters more than you think. A worn out coin might still be cool, but pristine condition, that's where the real money is. And if you think you found a 1969 D with doubling or another major error, don't clean it, don't rub it, just take it to a certified coin dealer or send it in to a grading service like PCGS or Rank. They'll authenticate it, and if it's the real deal, prepare to have your mind blown. So there you have it, folks, the story of the 1969 D Lincoln penny that might just make you a millionaire. It's small, it's copper, and it's hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just a guy like me who once thought pennies weren't worth the trouble, this coin proves that sometimes the smallest things pack the biggest punch. And hey, if you've made it this far, you clearly love this kind of treasure hunting adventure, so why not hit that subscribe button? Join the crew, get notified every time we drop a new coin tip, and never miss out on a chance to turn pocket change into a fortune. Also drop a comment below. Have you ever found an error coin? Or are you starting your hunt today? I want to hear your stories, your wins, your fails. Let's build this coin-loving community together. Hey folks, hold on to your pockets, because what I'm about to tell you might just blow your mind and maybe even make you dig through your couch cushions tonight. What if I told you there's a little copper penny from 1968 with no mint mark that could be sitting quietly in your junk drawer, and it's worth a cool $1 million? Yup, you heard me right. That's 6 zeros. 1,000,000. All for a single cent. Now, before you run off yelling into the streets or flip your entire coin jar onto the floor, sit tight. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. We're talking what makes it valuable, how to spot a real one, and most importantly, how not to get scammed. And hey, I'll even toss in a personal story that'll make you laugh, cringe, and maybe even cry a little. So let's jump into the story of how one tiny penny could change your life and why it's time to start checking your change like a hawk on a caffeine high. Alright, let's break it down. In 1968, the United States Mint made Lincoln pennies in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now, normally, coins struck in Philly didn't have a mint mark, which is pretty standard. So you might be thinking, well, hey, every 1968 Philly penny has no mint mark, what's the big deal? Here's where it gets spicy. While millions of 1968 pennies were made, only a handful of the no mint mark versions have specific traits that push their value into the stratosphere. We're talking errors, oddities, and eye-popping condition. It's not just any old 1968 penny without a mint mark. It's the unicorn. The Holy Grail. It's got to be uncirculated or extremely high grade, think MS67 or higher, a rare double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's profile or the lettering looks slightly doubled, pristine copper coloring, no spots, no scratches, just that beautiful deep red tone. And believe it or not, some of these rare variations have fetched 6-figure prices at auction, with one topping out at $1 million thanks to its rarity, perfect condition, and collector hype. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, I need to check every 1968 penny I've ever touched. And you wouldn't be wrong. But let's get a little nerdy for a second. Take a look at your 1968 penny. Flip it under a light. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's zoom. You're looking for a no-mint mark under the year 1968. If there's a D or S down there, sorry, that's Denver or San Francisco. Still cool, but not the jackpot doubling on the words Liberty or In God We Trust. If the letters look slightly shadowed or doubled, bingo, that might be a double die condition. If it's scratched, worn, or has been through the washing machine one too many times, value goes way down. But if it looks like it just rolled off the mint line yesterday, that's your golden ticket. Oh, and don't forget weight. Grab a coin scale. These guys should weigh about 3.11 grams. Any more or less might point to a fake or a different composition. Let me tell you a little story about how I once thought I found the one. It was a rainy Sunday afternoon, and I was elbow deep in a dusty old coin jar that had been sitting in my garage since the Clinton administration. I'm sorting, flipping, and suddenly, there it is, a shiny 1968 penny with no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I started imagining myself in a new convertible, maybe buying a boat, definitely quitting my job. I rushed to get my magnifying glass. My hands are shaking like I drank 3 cups of truck stop coffee. I inspect it, and wouldn't you know it? It had a scratch running straight through Lincoln's beard like a racing stripe. Turns out it was just a regular 1968 Philly penny. Worth 1 cent. I still put it in a plastic sleeve, gave it a name, Old Disappointment, and kept it as a reminder to never give up the hunt. Because the next one might just be the $1 million baby, your average 1968 no mint mark penny in regular circulated condition? Maybe 2 to 5 cents. Not bad, considering inflation. But one in mint state condition? Now we're talking hundreds. If it's got that double die action and shines like copper lightning, it could hit tens of thousands. And then, top of the mountain, we've got those ultra-rare gems. Only a couple are known to exist in the MS67 plus red category with double die errors. One of these sold at auction for just over $1 million. That's life-changing money for a penny most people wouldn't even bend over to pick up. Get it graded by a pro like PCGS or NGC. Consult a coin dealer or auction house if you've got the real deal. The right buyer will pay big. Here are a few quick tips to increase your chances of finding valuable coins like the 1968 no mint mark penny. I've found wheat pennies in drive-through change. No joke, hit up local coin shows or estate sales. One man's old jar is another man's $1 million retirement plan. You won't spot those tiny minting errors with the naked eye. Keep coins separated and labeled. Organization keeps you sharp. Share pics, ask questions, learn from pros. Alright folks, we've taken quite the journey today. From the halls of the US Mint in 1968 to the thrill of a modern-day treasure hunt, the humble no mint mark penny proves that even the smallest things can hold massive value. It's not just about the money, although that $1 million price tag is pretty sweet, it's about the thrill, the hobby, and that heart-pounding moment when you realize you might be holding something rare in your hand. Go grab your coin jar. Dig through that old cup holder. Flip through your wallet like it owes you money. Because who knows? You might just be sitting on $1 million without even knowing it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a coin worth money again. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and hidden gem guides coming your way. Drop a comment below if you've got a lucky penny story or if you think you found one of these 1968 treasures. I read every single one. You ever toss a penny and think it's worthless? Just a little copper-colored coin sitting in the bottom of your car's cup holder, or worse, in between the couch cushions next to an old French fry? Well, buckle up, because what if I told you one of those dusty old pennies could be worth $1.10 million? Yeah, that's right. One single 1993 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark, something most folks wouldn't look at twice, could turn you into a millionaire. I know what you're thinking. It's a 1993 penny. That was the year Jurassic Park hit theaters, the first time we ever heard a dial-up modem screech like a banshee, and gas cost about $1. Now one of those little coins from back then is worth more than a brand new Lamborghini. Crazy, right? So sit tight, grab a cup of coffee, and maybe start digging through that old jar of change you've been ignoring. Because today, we're diving deep into why this specific penny is so insanely valuable, how to tell if you have one, and the story of how I almost spent one at a vending machine for a bag of Cheetos. Okay, let's start with the basics. Most pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so at first glance, you might say, what's so special about this one? Well, that's where things get interesting. In 1993, the US Mint was pumping out pennies like candy. Billions were made. But a tiny number of those 1993 no mint mark Lincoln pennies had something different. A rare error. A fluke. A twist of fate that made them unicorns in the world of coin collectors. We're talking about a unique die error. The lettering was sharper, the image was off-center just enough to be called a misstrike, and in some cases, the copper plating was doubled in areas. These weren't normal circulation coins. These were rare misprints that slipped through quality control and made their way into the wild, and guess what? Coin collectors love mistakes. They eat that stuff up like a buffet. The more bizarre and rare, the better. Well, condition is everything. The rarest 1993 penny isn't just about the error, it's about being in pristine, untouched, never been dropped under the car seat kind of condition. That's what we call MS-70, or Mint State 70. Combine a unique die error with perfect preservation, and boom. That's how one of these pennies got appraised and auctioned for over $1 million. It's a 1 in a billion kind of coin, but it's real. And it's sitting somewhere out there, maybe in a piggy bank, maybe in a coin collection, or heck, maybe it's in your house right now. First, flip the coin over. Check the date. 1993, good. No mint mark under the date? Even better, and now, examine Lincoln's face. The line should be crisp, the cheekbone defined, and the ear detailed. You want a sharp strike, not a worn-out look. Look closely at the edges. Any doubling of letters? That's what collectors call doubling, or DDO, double die obverse. That's golden. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the word liberty. Is there any doubling or misalignment? Finally, weigh it. A standard 1993 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. Anything heavier? You might have a copper transitional planchet error. Those are rare too, and if all those boxes get a check, don't go spending it at a gas station. Get that coin graded professionally. Use services like PCGS or NGC. It could be worth a fortune. Back in college, I was broke. I mean, like, real broke. Ramen noodles broke. Couch hunting for change broke. One day, I was starving after class and craving a bag of spicy Cheetos. I reached into my backpack and pulled out a handful of coins. Among them was a shiny 1993 penny with no mint mark. Looked brand new. Now, I didn't think twice. Slid it right into the vending machine along with some other change. Machine jammed. Spit the coin back out. I shrugged, dropped it back into my backpack, and forgot about it. Fast forward a few years, I start getting into coin collecting. I remember that penny. Dig it out. And I swear, I saw doubling on Liberty and a strange halo around Lincoln's head. My heart was thumping like a bass drum. I sent it off for grading. Turns out, it was close but not the one. No die error. No $1,000,000. Just a sharp-looking penny, but man, for a second, I thought I was gonna buy a yacht and name it Pennywise. Coin collecting isn't just for old dudes in dusty basements. It's legit a real-life treasure hunt. And once you get into it, every coin becomes a mystery. Every quarter, nickel, and yes, even every penny could be hiding something rare. It's relaxing, it's rewarding, and if you play your cards right, it can be lucrative. There are still folks out there finding rare coins in pocket change. One guy found a 1969 double-die Lincoln cent and sold it for $35,000 just because he was curious enough to look closer. So don't ignore those pennies. Grab a magnifying glass, get a cheap coin scale, and start hunting. You never know. That 1993 no-mint mark penny in your kitchen drawer might just be your golden ticket. Let's hit you with some trivia you can use to impress, or at least confuse, your friends. A penny costs 2.1 cents to make. Yep. It's worth less than it costs. The 1993 penny was made mostly of zinc with a copper plating. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909. That's over 100 years of Abe. The phrase e pluribus unum on the back means out of many, one, kind of like coin collectors. Different coins, one passion. The rarest penny ever sold? A 1943 copper penny that went for over $1.7 million. So yeah, Lincoln's face is pretty much royalty in the coin world. So here's the deal. Next time someone says it's just a penny, you hit them with this knowledge. There are $1,000,000 pennies out there, and you could be holding one right now. But if you found today's video helpful, fun, or just mildly entertaining while you dug through your coin jar, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know. Tap that bell too, so you never miss another rare coin alert. We've got more videos coming your way on how to spot rare coins, where to sell them, how to avoid getting ripped off, and how to turn pocket change into serious change. Drop a comment if you think you might have a rare penny, or better yet, if you found one. I'd love to hear your story. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where small change can make a big change in your life. I'm talking couch cushion treasures, glove box gold, and pocket change paydays. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because today we're diving deep into a humble little coin that could make you a millionaire. And no, I'm not talking crypto, I'm talking copper. Now let me hit you with the hook. What if I told you that a 1992 D Lincoln penny, something you probably flipped into a tip jar or left in your car's ashtray, could be worth $1.2 million right now? Yeah, I know it sounds like one of those too good to be true infomercials, but this ain't late night cable. This is real money and real history sitting in your spare change. So grab a coffee, kick back, and let's talk about the coin that's got collectors drooling and regular folks digging through their piggy banks faster than kids on allowance day. Alright, let's start at the beginning. This coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cents series. Minted from 1959 all the way up until 2008. Before that it was the wheat penny, and after that we moved on to the shield penny. But the 1992 D is special, real special. You see, most 1992 D pennies look like every other penny from the 90s. They've got Lincoln's mug on the front, that classic memorial building on the back, and a nice strong D mint mark tucked under the date that D stands for Denver, by the way. But here's where it gets juicy. A small number of 1992 D pennies were mistakenly struck using a design that wasn't supposed to be used until the following year. It's what collectors call a close AM variety. What does that mean? Well, on the back of a normal penny from that year, the A and M in America are spaced out like socially distanced party guests, but on the close AM variety, the A and M are practically holding hands. It turns an ordinary penny into a $1.2 million collector's dream. Now you might be wondering why such a small difference makes such a huge difference in value. It's all about rarity and demand. These close AM 1992 D pennies were never supposed to leave the mint. They were created by mistake when a proof die meant for collector coins was accidentally used on coins for everyday circulation. So far, only a couple examples have ever been found. We're talking single digits here. That puts this penny on par with some of the rarest coins in US history. And when rarity meets high demand, well, that's when values explode. Just like that, collectors want them, dealers want them, and people like you and me, well, we want to find one and retire early. Right now, here's the good part: you don't need fancy equipment or a coin dealer's magnifying glass to find this beauty. All you need is a regular magnifying glass or even a zoomed-in phone camera. Flip the coin over, look at the word America. If the A and M are close together like they're cuddling, you might just have hit the jackpot. If they're far apart like they just had a bad breakup, sorry, it's a regular penny. Also check the mint mark, make sure It's a 1992 and has a D under it. That's the magic combo 1992D with the close AM design. Some versions also have sharp squared off edges on the letters, especially the G in God and the motto on the front. That's another sign that your coin might be one of the lucky ones. Let me take you back a few years. I was at my uncle's house in Tennessee. We were cleaning out his old garage. The man was a total pack rat. Boxes of baseball cards, dusty furniture, and of course a giant pickle jar full of pennies. I'm talking hundreds, maybe thousands, he says. Go through those, maybe you'll find something worth a fortune. I laughed. Yeah, sure, Uncle Joe. But later that night I got curious and started Googling valuable pennies, found out about the 1992D close AM and started flipping through the jar like a raccoon in a dumpster. No, but I did find a 1972 double die penny worth over $300, not a million, but not bad for a rusty old jar in a garage. The point is, these coins are out there, and they're not just in some collector's vault. They're in old jars, shoe boxes, under couch cushions, in between the seats of your car. You never know what you're sitting on now while you're searching for that 1992D close AM. Don't forget, there are other valuable pennies too, so don't just toss your change without giving it a good look. You could be flipping away thousands without knowing it. Now let's talk money. What's the current market saying about this beauty as of this year? The 1992D close AM penny has sold at auction for up to $1.2 million. That's verified, not just internet myth. It's gone up in value. It was worth $20,000 to $30,000 a decade ago that it hit six figures, and now we're talking over $1 million. That's faster than most stocks. If you're lucky enough to find one, you'll want to get it graded professionally. You send it into a place like PCGS or NGC, and they'll give it a rating based on its condition. A higher grade means more money. So let's wrap it up, friends. The 1992D close AM Lincoln penny is a tiny copper treasure that could change your life. It's rare, it's valuable, and best of all, it might be hiding in plain sight. So next time you get change at the grocery store, don't just toss it in a jar. Give those pennies a good look, because you never know what history or fortune you're holding. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. I've got more coin tips, more millionaire coin stories, and more laughs coming your way. And if you find a valuable penny, drop a comment down below. I want to hear your story. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and keep believing that even a little penny can be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where pocket change turns into paydays and the jingle in your jeans might just make you a millionaire. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you really looked at a penny, like really looked at it? Most of us just toss M in a jar, ignore M in the car console, or curse them when they spill all over the floor of the dryer. But today I'm going to introduce you to one little copper-colored coin that might make you wish you checked your change sooner. The 1998 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. Yep, that one plain-looking coin sitting all humble in your change tray could be worth up to $14 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.4 million for a penny you might not even bother to pick up off the ground. Stick around, because I'm about to walk you through what makes this coin so insanely valuable, how to spot one in your own stash, and share a story of how I almost gave one away without even realizing it. Plus we'll cover how to store and sell these coins properly without getting ripped off. So crack open the change jar, grab a comfy seat, and let's dive into the crazy world of the 1998 no mint mark penny. Alright, let's start with the basics. In 1998, the US Mint struck millions of Lincoln Memorial cents at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The ones from Denver have a little D mint mark right below the date, but the ones from Philadelphia, well, they don't have a mint mark at all. That's what we call a no mint mark penny. Now, most of these no mint mark 1998 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, maybe 2 if you're lucky, but a few ultra rare ones have what collectors dream about: errors, special strikes, and the kind of eye-popping condition that sends auction prices into the stratosphere. The real kicker: a few of these coins were accidentally struck on the wrong planchets, the blank metal discs they pressed to make coins. In some cases they were struck on a dime planchet, which is thinner and smaller, or they had double dies, where the image appears doubled on the coin. That's when the real magic happens, because that's how you get to that 7-figure payday. So what's the story behind the specific 1998 penny worth $1.4 million? Well, first off, this particular penny was what's known as a dramatic off-center strike, and it was also struck on a transitional error planchet. Essentially, it was made on a metal blank meant for a different coin entirely. It had razor-sharp details, no signs of circulation, and the perfect storm of rarity minting mishap and condition. Only a handful of these types exist. They become unicorns in the coin world. One of them was graded MS68 red by a top grading company. That red designation means the coin retained its bright coppery color. Unusual for a coin that's over 2 decades old. This one sold at a private auction for $1.4 million and made headlines in numismatic circles. The moral here is simple: keep an eye out, because this kind of crazy value can hide in plain sight. About 2 years ago, I was cleaning out an old box of random junk from my college days, mostly receipts, snack wrappers, and notes I don't even understand anymore. But buried in the bottom was an old Ziploc bag of coins, just pocket change I never cashed out. I almost tossed it straight into the Coinstar machine, but something told me to look through it, and there it was, a 1998 penny with no mint mark, super shiny, looked like it had just rolled Off the press my heart skipped a beat. I pulled out the magnifying glass and started comparing it to photos online. It had all the signs: bright red color, no scratches, clean rims, even what looked like a minor off-center strike. I raced to a coin dealer, had it appraised, and guess what? It was worth $20, not a million, but hey, it paid for lunch and taught me a valuable lesson. Since then I've looked at every coin twice, and let me tell you, the thrill of maybe finding a rare one is addictive. Now if you're wondering what to look for in your own coins, here's a handy checklist. No mint mark under the date, that means it's from Philadelphia. Off-center strike, if the image isn't perfectly centered or part of the design is missing, it could be valuable. Double die check, Lincoln's eyes, ears, or the lettering for any doubling. Wrong. Planchet, is the penny thinner or lighter than usual? Might be struck on a dime. Planchet, perfect condition, the shinier the better. If it looks like it just came out of a roll, that's a good sign. You'll want to use a magnifying glass or coin loop, and maybe even a little LED light to really inspect the details. Oh, and please don't clean your coin. Whatever you do, don't polish it, scrub it, or shine it up. You might destroy its value faster than you can say. Copper, get it professionally graded. This means sending it off to a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll assign it a grade based on its condition and verify its authenticity. Consider your selling options. You can go the auction route, which is best for high-value coins, or sell through a reputable dealer. Avoid those sketchy buyers online offering to take it off your hands for $100. That's highway robbery. Don't spend it by accident. I repeat, don't spend it. Put that sucker in a hard plastic case, tuck it in a safe, and let the value simmer. One little penny from 1998, no mint mark, no bling, no fanfare, just a simple copper coin that could make you a millionaire. Whether you're a serious collector or someone who just likes to dig around in the couch cushions, this is proof that real treasure still exists in the everyday. We just have to know where to look. Now, before you rush off to raid your piggy bank, do me a favor. If you found this video helpful, funny, or even just mildly interesting, smash that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring that little bell so you don't miss the next time I uncover more coins that could change your life. And hey, if you do find one of these $1 million pennies, take a selfie with it and tag us online. I'd love to see it, maybe even feature your story on the next video.